Hello there and welcome. My name is Michael Keys and I'm the author of the Make More Sales series of seminars. And I want to thank you for taking the time to watch this video. In the last video, I had you answer 4 questions. I hope what you did was you got your journal out, wrote the questions down, and you've answered those questions. Now, if you've had trouble answering those questions, email me at michaelkeys@keys.com.au and I'll see whether I can help you, and I will answer your emails if you do send them back. It may take me a while to get to them, but I will answer your emails. For the last 3 videos, I've been talking about the first part of the power of 3. And remember the power of the 3? The R.E.I.S.A, the list well, reduce well, sell well? Well, I've just been talking about the first part. And we spoke about how to find some listings. And if we go out looking for relationships and forget about the numbers games. And I told you how I went out and knocked on a door, built a relationship, and that was 1 relationship out of 3 that I made that day. And it was an $11,000 fee within the next 2 years. And it worked out just from that 1 sale alone. I made 3 sales from that afternoon's work, but that 1 sale alone worked out at $88 per door. Have you been out looking for those $88 per door? And this was at an $11,000 sale. $11,000 fee. You've probably got higher fees than that. But why don't people do it? Because they don't have the discipline. They think it's beneath them to go out and prospect. My goodness me. And they don't have the mindset. And even if they do it, they have this mindset that it's a numbers game. It's not a numbers game. People don't want to be called numbers. People want relationships in today's world. They're sick of the digital age. I get phone prospected and you can hear I am just a number. It drives me around the twist, whereas somebody, if they come and they knock on my door and they're trying to build a relationship with me, I am going to be much more receptive. And then the third thing that people don't do is they don't realise that you've got to make everybody feel as though they are the most important person in the world. You're the most important person in the world. And everybody you come in contact with, you must make them feel as though they are the most important person in the world. Then I spoke about some easy, simple things you can do to start immediately helping you get listings. And one of those things, and I'm going to mention it again because I love it so much, when people ask you, how's real estate? How are you going to answer that? Unbelievable! Be even better if I had more houses to sell. Who do you know who's thinking about selling? Yes! And you say that, you use that line wherever you go. The unbelievable principle. On the second video, we covered virtually 12 essentials or 12 characteristics you need to have in place to get a listing. And then I gave you 12 closes that you can use at the listing appointment. 12 closes. Now, are these the only closes you can use? No, because in a seminar I've got coming up, High Performance Selling, I go through 21 closes and we go in depth on how they apply to the listing, the reducing and the selling. On the third video, I asked the 4 questions, and I'm going to mention those again because I believe they're so important. Answer those 4 questions. And then we spoke about how to have boom times and doom time conditions. How you can be creative and get out there and make more sales and not be subject to market conditions, but create market conditions. How does that sound to you so far? Then I went through the powerfully personalized listing presentation. And this leads straight to a signature on an agency agreement. I touched briefly on how to close by being persistent, and it's called just moving to the paperwork close. I learnt this from a guy who sold me a solar hot water service for our pool years ago. He just kept writing and I couldn't stop him, and I said no, and I bought the solar hot water service for the pool. I'll tell you about that in depth in High Performance Selling. But there's one day I went to a listing, it's 4 o'clock on the Friday afternoon. I didn't leave enough end time, so I ran out of time, so I had to reappoint it for the Sunday afternoon. Because on that Friday afternoon I had to take our daughter Jessie to basketball. So I take Jessie to basketball, get back there at 4 o'clock Sunday afternoon, and the guy comes to the door and he'd been sleeping and he goes, hello, who are you? I said, Michael Keys, Keys Real Estate. I said, oh, that's right, look, we forgot to ring you. We've already selected an agent. I said, have you signed up with them? He said, no. I said, well, can I come in and have a cup of tea? So I went in, had a cup of tea and casually went through my listing presentation. They said, look, fine, that's fantastic with everything you've done, that's great. But we're not going to list with you. We're still going with the other agent. So I just started filling out the agency agreement. They said, no. I got to the end of it. They said, no. I said, has anybody ever read this to you? So I read the entire agency agreement to them. And if you haven't read one of those in a while, I tell you now, there's some really interesting stuff in there. So I read the entire agency agreement to them. And then I just slid the form across, because I had nowhere to go after this, slid the form across to Mrs. Clark. She picked up the pen, looked at him, he looked at her, and they said, oh, we might as well give him a go. And I listed that, and that turned out to be 5 listings from that family over the years, all through using, just moving on to the paperwork close, the form filling close. It is so powerful, and I go into this in depth in high performance selling in November. I want to now give you the framework for life sales skills. And what that is 21 proven strategies or proven life lessons that have happened to me over the years, and I implemented them into my life to have a richer, fuller, happier, more productive life and more prosperous than I ever dreamed of. You see, there was a day, December the 5th, 2008, my life turned upside down because I went to work like any normal day, and then what happened was, by that night, I was in the leukemia ward of the Royal Adelaide Hospital. I actually sold a house on the way to hospital, and I felt better now. Yes, I did, but it didn't help. And I started to rethink about whether I've really made a difference in people's lives, whether my life has actually meant anything, and whether I've really, I suppose, whether I've loved in life as well. I went to a seminar, and at that seminar we had to buddy up, and I buddied up with this beautiful lady, and she said, the question was, we had to answer, what do you want on your gravestone? What do you want it to read on your gravestone? I said immediately. I said, he made a difference. That's what I want on my gravestone. He made a difference. I want to make a difference in people's lives. And they say when people are on their deathbed, they are filled with regret that they haven't made enough difference in people's lives. They haven't helped enough people. And so there I was for 42 days, flat on my back, having chemotherapy in the leukemia ward. And I'm thinking, have I really made a difference in anybody's life? Have I really done anything that's outstanding? And okay, I've sold a lot of real estate, but have I helped enough people? And that's the day that I decided, that's the time that I decided to make some changes in my life, because there is a thing called the power of 3. And I found out about the power of 3 about 12 months later, when my wife told me, she was speaking to my trials coordinator. My trials coordinator said, had I got to hospital just 3 days later, I wouldn't have survived. So had I wasted 3 days wallowing in self-pity? You betcha. Had I wasted 3 seconds of my life? Had I wasted 3 minutes? I'm determined now not to even waste 3 minutes of my life. I want to make every moment of my life productive and count. And the same thing should be with you. So I want you to apply these 21 life lessons that I have gone through and experienced. I want you to just take them and apply them to your life, and you're going to have a richer, fuller life. And the first thing that we have to do is we have to live with hope. Without hope we perish. And as Wayne Dwyer says, hopes are thoughts in your imagination that can change into present day facts. Hopes are thoughts in your imaginations that can change into present day facts. So live with big, beautiful, hope-filled life that you can be proud of. The second thing is live in denial. Denial, what do I mean by that? Well, you have selective denial. When people start telling you about how bad things are, and why they can't mail, why they can't make sales, just go into denial on that. Don't listen to the bad news, because you only want to listen to the good news. You only want to listen to the good news. You don't want to be infected with the bad news, because it gets in and it creates more bad news, and next minute, nobody's making any sales. I want you to do this. I want you to get the last 3 months of comparable sales out, add up your fee, so that's $11,000, by the number of sales, and work out how much money has just walked past your door. And then get busy and go out and grab some. Don't get depressed, get busy and go out and grab some of this by going out and building some relationships. So work in denial, and it's very selective denial. Then we've got to create reality. We've got to look at the reality of where we are right now. If you're not happy where you are right now, make some changes. But you've got to get back to basics, and you've got to get to the reality of where you are right now. You've got to look at this. The fourth thing is survival and your road to recovery. Are you looking to just survive at the moment? Well, if you are looking at just survival, what you've got to do is you've got to get back to basics. You can go with the flow or you can fight against it. And a lot of people who are making excuses for poor performance today are fighting against people who are trying to help them. Go with the flow. Get on that road to recovery and survival. Time. Time. We all want it now, don't we? We want the quick fix. We want to know how that we can just click our fingers and things are going to happen. When I was in hospital, in the first couple of days, all the doctors came around and they said, yes, you've got acute leukemia. And I said to them, how long is this going to take? They said, nothing. They had a blank look on their face. I said, what are we talking? I have to have a week off? 2 weeks? 3 weeks? And there's still no reply. I said, what, 4 weeks? A month off? Still no reply. I said, what, 2 months off? Still no reply. And then when I said 3 months, a beautiful lady doctor said to me, I will review your situation in 3 months. It takes time to get well. It takes time to build a real estate career. It's something that just doesn't happen overnight. You build a real estate career and it takes time and effort to do that. A turning point. If you're not happy right now, have a turning point, both professionally and personally. You must turn it around. And the key word here is you. You must turn it around. Nobody else is going to help you turn it around apart from you. Choices. Oh, make some good choices. Get out of the rut you're in now if you're in a rut, and make some good choices. And if you're doing really well, make some solid choices to stay and continue to do well and prosper in your life. The next one is responsibility. And this is the greatest characteristic of all. I did a seminar years ago called The Characteristics of a Great Salesperson. And I think, and I feel, and I know that this characteristic, the characteristic of taking total responsibility in your life, everything else rides on it, everything else. You can say discipline. Well, discipline, you have to have the responsibility to take the discipline. You have to be responsible for where you are right now. You have to take responsibility. And if you're not happy where you are right now, take responsibility and start making changes so that you can have a prosperous real estate career, and not only that, but a prosperous life to go with it. Ask for help. Number 9, ask for help and practice some hard listening. A lot of people ask for help. They say it's like this: the future belongs to the askers. Really? Well, the future belongs to the askers, yes, but the askers who do some hard listening and then practice and put into action what they learn. I went to that sales seminar in 1988, changed my life. But why did it change my life? Because I took action and I did some hard listening. Did I feel comfortable about everything I was doing when I left that seminar? No. And I went from no sales in 7 weeks to 19 sales the very next month. So practice the hard listening. Count your blessings. First, you should be so thankful that you're in this wonderful world of real estate. I don't know of any other profession in the world that you can create prosperity so quickly in other than real estate. It is so good. And write out the things you want to be thankful for and then read that list every day. So count your blessings. Get back to basics. The road to greatness is paved with basics. You take one step, get your basics right. You take another step, you get your basics right. And the road to greatness is like this, it's on a slope like this, and it's paved with basics. So get back to basics. When I was in hospital, my whole system had to be, my immune system had to be killed off so the basics could come back. You got to kill off all the bad habits that you've got so that the basics can come back in and you have a life filled with joy, peace, prosperity, happiness, and everything else that I can throw in there. So get back to basics. Okay, the next one is challenges. Challenges. See every challenge as an opportunity. And as Walt Disney said, challenges are merely opportunities in disguise. And Walt Disney also said this, and I love this. And you might notice I wear a Mickey Mouse pin and I've got Mickey Mouse cufflinks here because I love what Walt Disney created in the world. He created so much joy in people's hearts. And he said this, dream, believe, dare and do. So you've got to have a dream. You've got to believe in that dream. You've got to dare to have a go at it. And then you've got to get stuck into it and do it. So what's your dream, believe, dare and do? Have a go. Look at the challenges and look at every one as an opportunity. The next point is goal setting. Set big, exciting sales goals and set big, exciting goals in your personal life. Something that you get excited about. I had goals and I read the goals on December the 5th, 2008. That was the day after I went into hospital. I had to change my goals. Sometimes you've got to change your goals. My goal was to survive. Is your goal to survive right now? Well, if it's to survive, good. Get on with it. Take responsibility. Put that down as a goal to get a good bonus check and to get through the tough times. Set that as a goal, but remember this, persistence will overcome all. So if you're doing it tough right now, persistence, you persist and you get some training and you get your skill levels up and you will achieve greatness in your life. So the next one is habits. And as Jack Collis says, we are slaves on the treadmills of our habits, and the chains of habits are too weak to be felt until they're too strong to be broken. Here's a chain here, right? I know. Here's a chain here, it's got a dollar sign hanging off the end. But it's too weak to be felt. I mean, you put it around your neck, you can't even feel it until it becomes too strong to be broken. And the thing that amazes me when people talk about habits, when I was hiring, I'd ask people about their habits and they would immediately talk about their bad habits. Let's talk about our good habits. Let's talk about our good habits and how this works. The chains of habit are too weak to be felt until they're too strong to be broken. So why don't you have a chain like this, right? Now there we have it, a chain like that. That's nice and strong. Now these are your good habits. You cannot break this chain. And once your good habits are in place, they are too strong to be broken. Remember this, remember that chain. See that? That is a good strong chain of habits. So put that in place. 15 is, how's your heart? Really, how is your heart? Is your heart in this? If it's not, get interested. When I was in hospital, I had to have my heart checked twice a day. And because I had been interested in physical fitness before I went in there, I got through all the treatment. I got through the whole lot. But my heart was strong. Is your heart strong for this? You get interested, you get enthusiastic in this, you put your heart in this. You're not only in real estate, but real estate will get into you. And when real estate gets into you, that's exciting. It is. I get so excited about this wonderful world of real estate that we live in. Number 16 is get over it. Get over it. My wife used to come into hospital and she'd say, get over it. We got to get over ourselves. We're not that important. And if you look at helping others, you'll experience more peace, joy and happiness in your life. It is beautiful. My wife used to come into hospital and she'd come into my room and she'd say, now what have you been doing today? Oh, I've been having chemotherapy. Well, get over it. She says this. She says you live by these 4 things, and she calls it the power of 4. First of all, you got to wake up. The next thing you got to do is get up. The third thing is get to work. And the fourth thing is get over it. So wake up, get to work, and get over it. Number 17 is appreciate your hidden treasures. What are your life's treasures? There are small things in life that we take for granted that mean so much. A little bird means so much to me. You might ask, why has Michael Keys got a little bird on his logo? I'll tell you why. Because I had trouble sleeping in hospital. And every morning at dawn, a little bird came and sang at my window. I never saw the bird, but it sang its lungs out because I had double glazed windows. And it sang its lungs out and it put me into this beautiful, peaceful sleep, which gave me hope for the new day of chemotherapy. And I didn't realise how much that bird meant to me. I told Tina how this little bird came and sang to me, and she bought me a figurine of a bird of hope for Christmas 2009, and it all came back to me on how much that bird meant to me. Appreciate the treasures in life. A little bird to me now means so much. What are the little treasures in your life that you're taking for granted? Number 18 is reinvent yourself. Let go of the old dead habits and embrace the new. By continually reinventing yourself physically, mentally, personally and professionally, Brian Tracy says, whatever you've accomplished up till now is merely a shadow of what you'll achieve in the weeks, days, months and years ahead by constantly reinventing yourself. So reinvent yourself, and I want to honor you, and I want to say well done for watching this video, because by watching this video you are on your path to reinvention. So continue to reinvent yourself. 19 is promises. Be an absolute standout in this life and keep your promise. Be a person of integrity. Be somebody who, if somebody shakes your hand, they know you can be counted on. Number 20 is your true colours. Let your true colours of integrity, honesty and trust shine through. Let people see that, but they only see it through your actions. So show your true colours. Go for gold. We have seen the Olympics and we have seen people talk about how they're going to get gold, and we've seen people talk, but what does it really boil down to? It's what they did on the field or in the pool or on the marathon track that really counts. Doesn't matter what you say, it's what you do. So show your true colours through your actions. And number 21 is create some magic. Every day create some magic in somebody's lives. I'm going to tell you a story. There was a nurse by the name of Kim, and she wasn't my normal nurse, and she came in one day and she was in a panic because there were no platelets there for me. She searched the Royal Adelaide Hospital, no platelets. She searched all the other hospitals, no platelets. And finally, in despair, she comes in and looks at my blood type, and she says, right, we've got the same blood type, I'm going. And I said, where are you going? She said, I'm going to give blood so you can have my platelets. Now, somebody rained on my parade, didn't they? And they said, oh, that's not possible, you can't get platelets that quickly. But I'm going to believe that they were her platelets, because about 3 hours later, the platelets arrived in my room and she saved my life. How can we create that sort of magic in the lives of people that we are dealing with? How can we save their real estate lives? And we save that by having great skill levels and helping them to make the right decisions that are going to get them happily moved and on with their lives. So this is a brief outline of the 21 life sales skills that I've gone through, that I've learned over the 54 years, and especially how I've applied them after my turning point on December the 5th, 2008. I want to thank you for taking the time and allowing me to serve you to watch these videos. I hope that you've got something out of it. If you want more and you want to go more in depth in this, come to High Performance Selling. In High Performance Selling, which I'll be conducting in November of 2012, it'll be in Adelaide, Melbourne, Sydney and Brisbane. I'll cover this in more depth, but not only will I cover that, I will show you how to list well, I'll show you how to reduce well, and I'll show you how to sell well. Then we're going to cover 21 closes that you can use at a listing presentation. You can use these same 21 closes at a price reduction appointment, and you can use the same closes at a buyer's appointment. Then I'm going to share with you 21-day action plan for fast, proven results. How can I say this? Well, there I was, no sale for 7 long weeks, and then 19 sales the very next month. So I share with you the plan that I applied for years and years and years in real estate. It'll get you fast, proven results if you want to work at it. The key word here is work. We must be prepared to work. Then we go through the powerfully personalised listing presentation in depth. We go through that in depth. We covered it on the last video, but we go through that in depth. And then we go through the 21 life lessons on how to work and create a more prosperous life. Not only in your career, but in your personal life. And then I'll give you a manual as well, so you can take all that information and go out there and use it and make more sales. Plan. You'll say, is that all I have to do? Yes. But the key there is you have to do it. You have to take the actions. If I hadn't have taken the actions when I went to that seminar, and if I hadn't developed a plan, I wouldn't have gone anywhere. I probably would have still handed my resignation in, because I was so close to doing it at the time, because I thought real estate wasn't for me. If you're in that situation right now, come to High Performance Selling in November. It could be something that will just help you get over the hurdle, and so that you'll be able to stay in real estate and have a great life. Now, what would you expect to pay for a full day's training? Well, the 2013 price for this seminar is $497, but the 2012 price for this is $220. And the reason it's $220, I want to make it affordable so that you can create prosperity and you can go out and you can make more sales so that you can have a great life in this wonderful world of real estate. And not only that, included in the $220, you get 3 video trainings valued at $97 each included in that. So the 2013 price of $497 plus the 3 video trainings by $97, that's $788 of training you get for $220 if you book now. And then on the day you come to High Performance Selling. And on the day, if you're not completely happy with the material that you get on that day, hand the manual in at the end of the day and I'll give you a refund. So come along to High Performance Selling in November. My goal is to help you make more sales and have more prosperity in your life. And I want to thank you for allowing me to serve you with these last 4 videos. I hope you've got something out of it that can help you in your real estate life to go out and make more sales. Therefore, I look forward to seeing you in November at High Performance Selling. Click on the link below for the full details and I'll see you there. And in parting, I'll just say this: make a difference in everybody's life. Treat everybody in your life as if they're the most important person you've ever met. And I want you to go out and make more sales and therefore have a prosperous, joyful, happy life. And I'll see you in November.